a compromise where it's like, maybe he's not getting all Ola and he's not getting all cushion, maybe like once a week this, twice a week that. So
like in between.
Gets to go 100 out.
One more comment on mine too. Make sure, or if you remember, repeat what, make sure you're understanding what he's saying. So, George, if I'm hearing you correctly, you're telling me that you want to
verify it. Say it back to us.
Oh, that was in the slides, in the star slides.
Very nice. All right, whenever you're ready.
We got your back.
Okay, start session. Hey, Mr. Murphy, I hear most important thing we got to work on is our dynamic, our group dynamic. Is that right?
I think that it seems like a necessary thing to address at this point.
Okay, so we got into a bad habit. What I've seen is I inappropriately kind of just took over the class and maybe just kind of pushed you to the back. And I think maybe the best way for us to get back on the good track would be if I could ask you if you'd like to share some collaborative teaching options with me, where maybe you take over the class and I get to walk around and assess students individually. Would you be interested in any of that kind of teaching technique?
Oh, I don't know what to say. Thank you. Yes.
Well, we got some options here. I mean, we could split up the class into two different groups that are equal. We could make it so that you taught the lesson to the entire group, and maybe that would help people become more comfortable with you. And when it was time for you to take kids to the back of the room, that they wouldn't feel like they're being singled out because they know that you're a well-respected leader of our classroom.
I think, sir, that we're finally onto something. It has been my assessment in the room that kids do not see me as a teacher that they can go to. I think they see me as the disciplinarian relegated to the back of the room, and I think that dynamic should change in order for us to help as many people, as many students as we can. And I appreciate your suggestions very much.
Well, you're definitely a valued authority here on campus, and sometimes that can intimidate others since they know that you're capable and you have renown. So we could definitely try to lower those barriers. Maybe give the kids a chance to have a social gathering, kind of like you lead the class in a kind of community building, just to get us back on the right track. Would you like that?
Are you referring to some social emotional learning kind of exercises? Be a little bit more specific.
Well, chances are that you're the expert in that. Some of our kids, like Sandra, she's zoning out. She's going to her phone, and Alejandro, he's got the spatial organization problem. But definitely, if we could bring up the morale of the class and we all felt like we were a unified group, that'd be the best place to start.
Agreed. That would be fine with me. I think that I might be able to start us off with. I might need a little time to think about it. I have a mood meter in my room. It's actually a chart. I often have kids, when they come into my room, they chart themselves on the meter according to how they feel. It's always a good conversation starter. It tends to, break the ice. It tends to open them up, get them ready to learn, builds the relationship. That might be a good start. It comes from Ruler, from the Yale Center of Emotional Intelligence. It tends to be a really good tool. We may even need one for your room and for mine.
Well, yeah, we got to get another one of those, and we can definitely add a math lesson planning to it, because if the kids are graphing their emotions per day with color, we can definitely address how they're having a rhythm, like a weekly rhythm or a monthly rhythm.
Exactly. Brilliant. Yes, and it's graphing with numbers, and that's not exactly what we're working on in the class right now, but it gets them in a mathematical state of mind.
Yeah, well, are you comfortable getting back together on those Wednesdays so we could regularly once a week improve our class dynamic and plan for the week to come?
Yeah, about that. We may need to try to find a different time to work together. My caseload this year is unbearable. I have 45-page IEPs to read on a daily basis, goals to record, data to collect, people to oversee. It's become, it's become very taxing. Parents to handle. So I think we might need to look into some other options.
Pause. Ooh, you're done.
10 minutes.
Wow. Hey, that was a great idea. Graphing their emotions.
Yeah.
Alright, so what did Jared do well?
That was awesome.
Thinking on his feet.
Yeah.
Great, Jared.
I like how you brought in the problem again with the meeting. That was a great way to segue into what we need to talk about.
You stayed on task.
Yeah.
We also brought up the meeting after.
Yeah, the idea that he was co-teaching really. Yeah, well, I want
You
to.
like that.
So let's-
She's like,
let's look
my
at
time
that.
to shine.
You know, it's essentially his area of expertise because he's like the more you're mentioning the morale and you mentioned the social emotional needs that they need, and he's like, and you're like, that's you literally said that's your expertise, that's what you're good at, and I think he appreciates that.
Yeah.
You acknowledge our mistakes.
But then again, he still is placing that responsibility. He still is like, I have to then, so you still hide me. Or
Yeah.
trying
Yeah.
to make it work.
But you can even do like she said, we could do it remotely. Like we can figure out a Google Docs or something.
Or
Just so
yeah.
we're planning whenever we have time. Like
Or you
if
could
you're
say that you come to the.
Yeah.
Or you can,
yeah, great. Maybe how do I accommodate you? Because it sounds like your schedule is way busier than mine.
But, and I don't think, I would say, how do I accommodate you? I said, how can we work on that? How can we do this together,
Because it's not going to work unless we're both on the same page.
And you want to tell him that, it's like, I want to benefit from your expertise, so I really would like to work with you.
That's good. I would really like to work with you. Make it you like I will benefit. Please help me.
And then after, when is a good time for him? When's the best time? Like, say, like, over exaggerate that you'll make yourself available. Depending on when he's available.
Well,
Remotely.
but you also have to think, are you always going to be able to do that? So you just have to find, somehow a way that
Until
works
Alejandro
for
passes his class, that's what's happening.
You actually have to go to the.
Right. Very nice. So who's the last person?